to pay tribute to our patron royal family, King Kamehameha IV, Alexander Liho Lani, his beloved wife, Queen Emma Kalaleo Lani, and of course, their Katie, young Prince Albert Kawi Huli. Nestled between the two mountain ranges on this island, the Waianae Range and the Ko'olau Range, is a very significant and secret place known as Kukani Loko. Kukani Loko houses the birthing stones of many of Oahu Island kings and queens. And this chant first appeared in the Hawaiian language newspaper Ku'oko'a in May of 1925 by Mr. John Howe, no Kukani Loko, Ku'ualoha.
Kuika, kuika vaika, kuika lalakina. No kukani loko alake, kupando kula kala koa. Kaiha na o iona, ani voi hui o hava ine. No kukani loko alake, kupando kula kala koa. Kaiha na o iona, ani voi hui o hava ine. Kuika vaika, kuika lalakina. Wale kikuile ahile, pano kamari apa amai kai ka vai o ke hau anu ku ani ku mai kai ku kala na kina ale hali mai na ke ala o mali o anu au ka vai ku ai ku vai o he no an alu ku mai kai ku kala na kina mo ho ka ku heba ana ku akan au kuni na la mai a po ni maka Hui pau ia mai na ai na mai hava ani au no o malo ia me ki kau ni ke mama ho kana vai hai na ia mai ana ka puana no ku ka ni luku ko a hui ka mai ka hui ka na kila hey no ka hui.
In the name of Kakuhi, Heva, the once king of this island, and of course in the name of the sacred birthing stones known as Kukani Loko. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International Marketplace. You know, the grounds on which this shopping center stands are called Kaluokau. Kaluokau is one of, well, it's a sacred place and it's celebrated in the honoring of our queen. You know, much of Waikiki and especially Kaluokau was intended for its residents to enjoy R&R, rest and relaxation. Kaluokau, no different, sadly was affected by the passing of the hope of the future kingdom in the passing of young Prince Albert Kauikeaoli at the age of 4. The grieving mother our queen was, she actually gave herself a new name. She called herself Kalaleo Kalani, which means the flight of the royal one. And then just 15 months later, our queen lost her husband and Hawaii lost its king in the passing of Kamehameha IV. Still grieving the loss of her son, the queen took the name she gave herself, Kalaleo Kalani, and modified it to Kalaleo Lani, the flight of the royal ones. It was her strength and it was the support from her people that helped her through such difficult times.
Ma Coco. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but let Okay. iho ke aloha Huli ho I hanaya ka malama Malama ia iho ke aloha
Her people call to their queen, "Where are you, O sweet-voiced bird of the forest?" In the upland, the fragrance of the sandalwood perfumes the leaves of the trees. Return to your home where you can find love. May love be your constant companion. This is our praise, and may all hear the name, Lani.
Haina kapuana ilohe ia o e malani no he inoa Haina kapuana ilohe ia o e malani no he inoa e ala e ala e aie Hei noa no kaleleo nā lani
Hey no no Kalaleo Nalani, in the name of Kalaleo Nalani, our beloved queen. Once again, aloha ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the international marketplace here at Kaluokau Waihikai. Aloha. Aoya, ae no na oia u. Ahana, ona ona la, ko makaina ne e kai po. Wahine hui, he hui no ka wahine ne ohane, e manu leo lea i o ki kuahiwi. Once again, aloha, welcome to the Onolani series. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are here at 6:30 honoring the legacy of the beloved Queen Emma. Queen Emma, the owner of the land on which this shopping center sits. Hence, it's important to celebrate her legacy, understand a little bit more of her story. But we welcome you to the shopping center also, enjoying a lot of stores, restaurants, and a lot more culture here at the shopping center now. Aloha and welcome. It's just an old Hawaiian custom. When I say aloha to your family, it's just an old Hawaiian custom. When I say that I love you too, I'd love to sing for you a plaintive melody and give a lay to you to make you happy. It's just an old Hawaiian custom.
Just an old Hawaiian
When I say aloha to you, when I say aloha to you, aloha.
Aloha. Aloha.
You'll notice in Hawaii we have many place names that have the word vai in it. Vai, W-A-I, means fresh water. That life-giving resource sent from heaven above, raining down into our beautiful Aina, our land, and then, of course, coming up and being rivers and streams. Waikiki, no exception. Waikiki means percolating and spouting water. So the ua rains down from the heavens into a valley called Manoa. That valley then brings the water through the water filter, percolating right up here in the many springs that occurred here before 1920, before they dredged the Alawai Canal. In fact, if it were today, there would be a stream right through here called Apuakehau. Here's a song written by Dr. Kimo Alama Keulana, Hula, and this song is Nani Manoa and celebrates the beauty of Manoa. international marketplace that stood on these grounds for many decades. And this one here has been about 7 years old now. And those of you who remember the old international marketplace might remember one of Hawaii's and Waikiki's greatest nightclubs. It was called Duke Kahanamoku's nightclub, and it was located not too far from where I'm standing. Of course, it honors the great icon of the water, Duke Paolo Kahanamoku, who was born across the street at a place called Haleakala. And we know the Duke, his prowess was everything in the water. Swimming, surfing, diving, paddling, you name it. And the Duke, he was so excellent that he was invited to 5 Olympic Games. And he celebrated with bronze, silver, and even gold medals. Also, when he was done with the Olympics, he was invited to Hollywood, California to make some movies. Probably some of the 100 movies that the Duke made, well, most of them were uncredited, sadly. But the Duke he was so great. One day sitting on the beach in 1925, he noticed a ship began to sink. Without hesitation, the Duke grabbed a board and went out and rescued 8 people from a perilous fate. Why I share that with you is not just because the Duke did it, but because from that day on in 1925, of course, lifeguards began to use surfboards in their aiding of their rescues. So let's take a peek to the great history of Duke Kahanamoku with the song Duke Kahanamoku, performed by the Junior Dukes, and of course written by Saul Bray. Aloha.
Grandfather Neptune awards the golden medal. Duke Kahanamoku, the crown you'll always wear. King of swimmers, famous of the sea. Mermaid beauties keep him company. So, Duke Kahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on an Oahu, appearing like a manu. You would think a moment you wore a feather garment. Duke Kahanamoku, the idol of Hawaii, swimming in the ocean without the slightest notion that he'd become the lana throughout the good Honua. Oia no e kaoi, King Kamehameha, conquered the island grew. Duke Kahanamoku, he simply conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Oh, Duke Kahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on a nanu, appearing like a manu. You would think a moment wore a feather garment. Oia no e kaoi, King Kamehameha, conquered the island grew. Duke Kahanamoku, he simply conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Conquered all the waters and became the king of swimmers. Oh, Duke Kahanamoku, the pride of all Hawaii, surfing on the Nalu, appearing like a manu. You would think a moment he wore a feather garment. Oia no e kaoi.
That means he was the greatest. Mahalo Junior Dukes. You know, when the Duke returned to Honolulu, there was a new genre of music. Also, when he returned to Honolulu, he became Sheriff of Honolulu, a post he held until January 22nd, 1968, the day he passed away. Our Duke, he was so great and just bringer of aloha. So when he did return, as I mentioned, there was a new genre of music. It was called Hapa Haole. Hapa meaning part, Haole meaning not Hawaiian. So it really was the essence of Hawaiian music with English lyrics. Sometimes that led to beautiful ballads of love and islands, and sometimes that led to a disastrous situation. But let's take a peek into the magical time known as Hapa Haole here at the International Marketplace.
When they do the hula hula dance, I fell in love with this tropical dub while learning the funny dance. This little kid, why she never did a little loving before, so I made up my mind that I'd strike a fight with the only girl that I would adore. Well,
in hula heaven under cocoa tree. Days will be lazy and sweetly crazy. Skies will grow hazy above. We're all alone together, just you and I, in a little hula heaven, living a dream of love. Well, I know a pretty little hot hula girl, and not a little wiggle. Hula girl, she can shoot and make me giggle. Hula girl, and not a little happy someday. I'm gonna make this little hot girlie of mine, girlie of mine. All the time I'm dreaming of her, a hot hula girl. All the time I'm dreaming of her, a hot hula girl. All the time I'm dreaming of her, a hot hula girl. Oh yeah! Mahalo, ladies. That was Dorothy Lamore who brought the cellophane hula skirt to her lady. Hey, what's that? Tahitian Hotel Festival drums. You know, if you were coming to the old International Marketplace so many decades ago, and you were walking up or down Kalakaua or Kuhio Avenues, you'd hear these drums from the outside and they draw you right in. It attracts you because you want to find the source of the drumming. And when you enter the International Marketplace, you find a new culture, an exciting culture, filled with flair and glory and happiness. Now, there would be Hawaiian hula dancing, of course. There would be Tahitian dancing and drumming. There'd be Samoan fire night dancing. It got so popular, not only for visitors, but even the locals would come down. And some of the visitors would start to think that the dances of Tahiti and Samoa were Hawaiian. And although we'd love to take credit, we give credit to where credit is due. Our family, our cousins of the South Pacific. And you know, it's important to share the culture of our family. Why? Well, in Hawaiian we say, we, the people of Polynesia, are one family. For that reason, we want to share that culture of our family. Speaking of culture, in the new International Marketplace, more culture has been added. For example, the 3 courtyards have been divided and they honor different themes. So the upland courtyard is called the Mauka, or upland courtyard. It honors Vai, the fresh water, the life-giving resource. And then you have the Makai, or seaside courtyard. That is called the Banyan courtyard, and it honors that age-old banyan tree that has seen so much history. Maybe you, your parents, or grandparents took photos with it another time. So maybe you can go give your love to it today after the show. Then we're standing in the Queen's Court. Of course, the Queen's Court honoring the beloved Queen Emma Kaleleo Lani. There's so much that I'd like to share with you about the culture and the aloha from our beloved Queen. But it looks like our dancers are ready to share, so I'll come back and share a little bit more about our Queen. So let's invite him to the stage. Yorana! Hi, everybody! was a festive time of Polynesian pop culture here at the International Marketplace, to include even friends like Martin Denny of, Quiet Village, and you all know him, Don Ho, the great Don Ho. But you know, there's a more important story I gotta tell to you right now. This is a story about our queen, who owns the land under which this shopping center sits. Her name, Queen Emma Kalaleona Lani Naya Roku. She was born on January 2nd, 1836. She was born to High Chief George Naya and High Chiefess Fanny Kekelautalania, both of whom had familial connection to the Kamehameha dynasty. And in a very Hawaiian way, our queen was Lavehanaiia. She was adopted by her mother's sister, High Chiefess Grace Young Rook, and her husband, Dr. Rook. Now for this reason, our queen spent a lot of time in her father's clinics, tending to her people. And I really gotta believe that it was that work, that experience, that inspired our queen to establish this trust when she first became the monarch. You know, just so you understand, we are here because of the grace of our queen. We are allowed to sit here, enjoy, take in shops, stores, restaurants, and just great entertainment because of the legacy of our queen. So we ask that in this little time, we honor the queen. We remember who she was, for without her, we wouldn't be enjoying this place today. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you, portraying our beloved queen this evening, the lovely Mrs. Leilani Kaho'ano. This is my favorite time of the show because I get to tell a little bit more about the queen. So as I mentioned before, she's the queen. Kamehameha IV is king. They become monarchs in their 20s, very young. One of the first things they decided to do was figure a way how to help their people into perpetuity. So they established a trust. And that's the first time any world leader ever did this. No king, queen, president, nobody did something like this. And they, in their young 20s, decided this is important to do so for their people to live into perpetuity. So our queen, king, they go door to door and want to build a hospital. And that was the legacy they created, the Queen's Hospital, the only level A trauma center in the entire Pacific. Their wisdom. You know, the king passed away very young. Our queen was left widowed at 29. It didn't stop her from continuing to serve her people and build this hospital. Some of the plants you see here have medicinal purposes, some of them are decorative, but that's because they went door to door. They asked. Some people could give 10 cents, and 150 years ago, that was a lot of money. Some could give, other things, but some gave medicinal. You know, our queen traveled from island to island because when her husband died, his brother became king. His older brother becomes king, he passes away without naming an heir. Hawaiian Kingdom legislature holds an election, they elect a cousin. The cousin becomes king, he dies 13 months later without naming an heir. Thus, another election is held. Our queen says, I have the pedigree. She throws her name in the hat, and then she petitions to become queen. She doesn't win that election. King David Kalakau becomes king. And there's so many great things to tell of the story of our beloved queen. So many songs, like the one right here engraved on this glass atrium elevator celebrating our queen. But I encourage you to learn more about our queen. Here's one of those songs, Kaulana no o Emalani, honors our beloved queen. And actually, we're going to forego that mele for an honored mele, honoring the grandfather of our beloved king here. His grandfather was the founder of the kingdom. His name was King Kamehameha the Great. And this story, Kanaiopuni, honors this legacy. Here's Kanaiopuni. go forward and take upon yourself this charge, this responsibility of Pono for mine is not complete. A charge we hold dearly to this day.
Hello.